Nebraska's legislature wrapped up very quickly.
In less than an hour, senators introduced 20 bills. They'll have Friday and Saturday to submit more. 6 News' Brian Mastry tells us what's next.
20 hours after the governor unveiled his proclamation to force state lawmakers back to work.
And I've said we'll have special sessions until Christmas, if that's what it takes to fix this crisis.
Senators gathered in the legislative chambers to problem solve. It's been 98 days since they adjourned and left this place.
2, modifying the state cigarette tax.
The first bill introduced includes 3 cornerstones of Pillen's plan, where the state caps local government spending, pays for all K through 12 education to slash that line item on our property tax bills, and starts to collect new or additional taxes on products and services to cover the difference.
We've got the governor's plan, which is essentially dead on arrival. Whether you're on the right or the left politically, whether you hail from a rural district or an urban district, there's ever mounting opposition.
Among the 19 other bills introduced today include capturing new taxes through online gambling, regulating marijuana, offering tax credits to renters, ending the Perkins Canal project, changing individual and corporate income tax rates. 60 other bills are expected in the next 2 days.
I said from the beginning that the plan is a framework. From the beginning, this has always been a framework to move forward.
So if the governor's plan to fix the high property tax problem is dead, as so many lawmakers say, the solutions will come from somewhere else.
If no plan is able to quickly achieve consensus, then we should hear all plans, we should debate thoughtfully, we should take votes on the record about where we stand on those plans. And if we aren't able to achieve consensus, then we should take a do no harm approach, and we shouldn't allow for a runaway session or a prolonged session that really sticks it to the Nebraska taxpayers.
On your side, Brian Mastry, 6 News.
Hearings on the bills are expected to begin as early as Monday.
A new